they start is 24,319. And that is this hole here, going across the deposit here. The next hole is the one from the last release, which is 25,329, that starts over there.
It's the 88 meters at 8.8 grams from 88 meters, very easy to remember.
And that's this hole here.
That sounds good. So we'll come over here, have a look at 297. I'm assuming we're laid out at the
very far end.
At the very far end there, and we're going to read the core just like a book.
Hernán Dorado. I'm the VP of Sustainability and Special Projects. So what we're looking here in Ana Paula is the core check.
Okay.
As you can see, all the color coding that we have there are the way that we describe and understand the core and the grades on the Ana Paula project. As you can see, and with the explanation that the technical team did previously, is not just a spotty deposit. It's a really consistent deposit, and you can see it in the last line of the core, that the color is between purple and pink. That is extremely high grade, and it's just consistent. It's not a spotty. That is important, and the beauty of that. So also having this kind of color coding display in this way, it helps a lot to the geological team, but not just the geological team, to the operations and the support teams to understand the size of and the importance of this deposit that is just high grade everywhere. So that's why Ana Paula is the flagship of the company, because we do believe that this will make a big difference for us and for the community, for everyone around.
So Hernán, as a mining engineer, as a mining engineer, how does the color coding help you?
Because it helps a lot, because now that we are putting the mine plan together, we can understand how can we plan the mine. So when you have a consistent grade and width, in that moment you can establish one mining method for the entire panel, for the entire mine. What does that mean? Same equipment. You don't have equipment of different sizes. It's just one equipment, so all your inventory of critical pieces for maintenance are the same. So what does that mean? Mechanical availability over 80 to 85%. So you have the equipment running, you have the same operators running the same equipment. So there is no variability, and that helps out to be more efficient. What does that mean? At the end, you drop the cost per ton and you drop the cost per ounce to make this business profitable, more profitable.
Excellent. Gracias.
Gracias.
You can see what's carrying the grade in here. All these little gray and silver flecks along the fractures are the arsenopyrites, and that's what's, the gold is intimately associated with those. So the more density of sulfides you see, the higher the grade is going to be. And so you make this break right here, and you can see that we go from half gram 0.x type of material with a lower sulfide density here, just a few percent sulfides or sulfides along fractures, to much more pervasive alteration. You see how the rock is more broken, and here we go to over an ounce per ton in gold grades in this zone. It comes back just a little bit, and then we really we start stepping into this zone. So again, you've got breccia. You can pick this up and and feel it. The density of arsenopyrite, I think, is about 6. The specific gravity is about 6. So that makes this rock, as you put more and more sulfides in there, that makes this rock very, very dense, which also helps in bulking out the size of the deposit. So we've spent a lot of time working on density sampling. But I'll flash this in the sun for y'all. You can see just the pervasive silver coloration. You can see a few fractures running through here, and then the disseminated arsenopyrite. And that's what's carrying all of the high grade. So this stuff is about 22 grams per ton. This rock in here is about 20 grams per ton. And then we step down again, just very, very consistently. We're not seeing super high grades and then nothing. What we're seeing are 22, 19, 3 grams, 8 grams, 4 grams, 47 grams. That's a nice spike, and you can get a sense for what's, what's carrying that. the fact that you can visually identify what's what areas have grade and what areas are likely to have those higher grades because of the pervasiveness of the or the increase in the amount of sulfides, or the proportion of sulfides, is a very nice thing for us from a mining standpoint and from an exploration standpoint. The overall bulk size of the stopes, because you're not mining little tiny veins where you have 100 grams and then it kind of pinches out. You're dropping big panels. That's getting bulked out. You're hauling that up to the surface. That's getting fed in. The sensitivity here is not going to be around the grade. It's going to be around the amount of sulfide in the rock, and that's what Greg was talking about last night with the biolox, is understanding the amount of sulfides, and that's one of the big pieces of our resource and drill definition program, is that all of these assay intervals are being assayed for gold. As fire assay, they get assayed as a screen fire assay, which is an additional higher quality type of assay. It's a little bit more expensive, but it does a much better job of defining coarse gold. We see that those compare very well between fire assay and screen fire assay. These all get multi-element assays, so we can see what if there are anomalous pathfinder elements in there. They get assayed for sulfide sulfur, and that's going to be extremely important for the biolox.
Water. It looks nice, but you see the color is adding water is just doing this, and it helps you to have a better look on what are the type of formation, type of geology. So it helps you just to understand a little bit the geology, and then you take your lens and start looking at that in a better way. It's just to clean it up, so have a better understanding and better review of the geology itself.
So what makes a highly accomplished geologist and financial guy excited about Heliostar?
There's a lot that makes me excited about Heliostar. The first thing that made me excited about Heliostar was Charles' vision for the company. The fact that he wants to be a mid-tier producer. I think there's really a sweet spot out there in the market for that right now. I come from a major background. Again, 17 years. 17 years with Newmont is a long time, and the frustration for me there was always that if it wasn't 3 million ounces or 5 million ounces, then it was ignored. It wasn't consequential. And trying to get deposits don't fall or form, or they aren't discovered as generally as 3 to 5 million ounce deposits. They're found, and they're grown over time through those kind of world-class sizes, and that's the opportunity I wanted, and the opportunity that I think Heliostar brings for investors is being able to get on those projects that are going to be able to grow to those kind of sizes.
So Sam, behind you, for the viewers who can see it right now, are color-coded core samples. And maybe just give us a sort of a very quick, simple overview of why it's color-coded and what that means.
So the color coding, we're standing in the middle of a drill hole from the high-grade panel at Paula, and the color codings in here are telling us what the grades are. The purples are the things to notice. Those are the plus 10 gram per ton assays. And I'll just walk you down through here for the camera. We're looking at the center of the high-grade panel, and the thing to notice is just the consistency, the assay-to-assay consistency of this panel. We've got 10 grams, we've got 12 grams, we've got 15 grams, 20 grams, 15 grams, 34 grams, so on and so forth across this entire zone. And this hole is not unique. This is just a very representative section.
And this is one hole?
This is one hole across the high-grade panel, and this is just a representative section or zone out of that hole. We've cut these same sort of intercepts time and time again as we drill across the high-grade panel, and this is something that's very exciting, because this demonstrates the robustness, the assay-to-assay robustness, and the overall volumetric and size consistency of the high-grade panel.
Awesome. Thank you.
You betcha.